Well guys, I guess we're going on another adventure. There was an ad on Kijiji. It said John Deere lawnmower. So I messaged the guy and he said it's a 72 John Deere lawnmower. And so I'm not entirely sure if it's a 72 meaning the year, or if it's like the John Deere 72 rear engine mower, similar to the John Deere 68 that I have already. He said it's been sitting for a bit and he has no idea if it runs and stuff like that, right? So we're gonna head on out and see what we come up with. You never know. There's bound to be a few good parts on it. I'm assuming that it's got a Briggs & Stratton motor, probably similar to my 68 that I have. If it's a rear engine one, then it's probably the vertical shaft. If it's a one of the other ones with the hoods, it could have a 12, or it might even have a bigger engine in it. You never know, but it's probably a little 8 horse or something like that motor. So we'll head her on out, guys, and we'll see what we come up with. You never know, right? You never know unless you try. So I'll give you guys another shout when we get there. Okay guys, if the directions are correct, we should be pretty close. We're down an old dusty dirt road. And I believe we're pretty close to where we need to be. Yeah, see how dusty this was, man? I went in and turned around and come back out, and she's pretty dusty. So we'll swing in here and see what she looks like. Well guys, got her all loaded. It's a rear engine John Deere R72. She claims it was running, but it does have an issue with the charging system. Needs to have a boost every time, so I don't know if it's the battery or whatever, right? As well, I was there, they have this old mower 5 horsepower with a Briggs & Stratton. Looks like a 5 horse. It's like an old school engine that has the old manual choke on her. One thing I'll say here, for being an old mower, must have had the seat replaced at one time. The seat's like next to mint on it. Everything else, the tires are decent. That 68 I have at home needs tires big time. If this one doesn't pan out, maybe I'll use the tires off of it. So we'll head her on home and then unload them and have a closer look at them. You think about, sometimes you see something sitting, or you put an ad out, or you get lucky and you see an ad, someone wanting, to sell something or give something away, or you know, just as an example, down the street, you know, you see a car sitting, you know. It's a nice car. It's something that, you know, you would like to drive, or maybe it's something that, you know, you would have had as your first vehicle when you were starting out, or, you know, or maybe just something as simple as, you know, you could get it for $100 and try to sell it for 300, you know, whatever, right? If you don't ask, you won't know, you know. And I went out there for the John Deere, you know, and I ended up coming back with a John Deere and a tiller. He claims he never had the tiller going, but you know, it's a brakes, right? As long as it's not seized, it, you know, it's almost guaranteed to start, almost. You know, if it's got spark and it's getting fuel, it's a starter, right? So, as I said, guys, we'll hit her on home and unload these and have a checkout. You never know. I might throw my booster on that old John Deere and it could fire right up. Or, you know, or it could be parts. Who knows? So we'll hit her on home and go from there. Well, guys, we've made her on home. So we have a John Deere R72, 8 horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine, and it was looks like she was sold and serviced in Maidstone, Saskatchewan, which is only about 45 minutes or or so from where I'm at. If I'm reading the numbers correctly, it's looking like she's a 75 for the year, manufactured in Illinois. And no pull start on the engine. The engine spins freely by hand. The previous owner said there was a issue with the charging system or battery. I don't know if they even have an alternator. Do they even charge the battery? I don't think the battery has any way of charging except, you know, externally. And I picked up this old Moto rototiller. And this one here came out of Ontario. So this one's a Canadian manufactured. It's a chain drive tiller. Let's open this up so we can get a look at her. Okay, so she's a chain drive unit. Moto mower. Looks like she needs a muffler desperately. Of course, as I said before, it's an older style Briggs & Stratton 5-horse motor. It has the old clutch to, or old choke to it. So let's drag her off the trailer and get a closer look at her. Okay, so it's called 5-horse, 3600 RPM. Call her an easy spin. Looks like the engine come out of Wisconsin. Okay, so if I'm reading this right, this is about a 1965, if I'm reading it right. So you have a classic kind of almost unit. It's kind of comparable in age to my old Cub Cadet that I had. Everything seems to be free on it. The the recoil's a little bit sticky, but it does recoil. The engine will, you know, turn over, but it doesn't fire, of course. So we'll get these unloaded and see how it goes. Okay, so the obvious difference between my 68 and the 72 here, obviously it doesn't have the fancy little, I don't know if you call it shroud or cover thingy that covers the motor and kind of makes it pretty. Obviously the battery is exposed on the 72. The transmission looks like she's a different unit. She's got a 5-speed transmission in this one. I believe my 68's only got a 4-speed in it. But other than that, at first glance, they look like the same mower, just with a little bit of slight differences. So let's get this baby unloaded, and not sure if I'll get at her tonight to look at her or what. So let's roll her off the trailer. Okay guys, here she goes. She should be a good show. Hey, it's unloaded and almost to where I want her too. You know, one of the best things that I ever done, I forget the price of them, but at the time they were, when I bought them, I was thinking to myself, why am I paying this price for them? I think they were fairly pricey, but these brackets I picked up at the old Princess Auto. It has a 350-pound rating per bracket. And then I got a 2x10 here and made my own ramps. You know, they're works great for doing, you know, tractors and stuff, because although my trailer does have a bit of a ramp to it, it's of course too steep for the tractors with the decks on them. But yeah, that was one of the best you know, money well spent type of things that I've done. Okay, so let's get her parked on where I want it, and then she's good. Okay, so pretty much just straight back now. try not to drop my camera. And there you go. Pop her into gear. So, just giving you guys a bit of a side-by-side type of look. Of course, this one's a 72 that we just brought home. And then that one's a 68. Looks like we got, on the 68, we have, it's a 5-speed transmission as well. Looks like we have a deck height adjuster, lever. I'm going to assume that this is a deck height adjuster as well. They both have the same look like for the throttle and choke. They look like they both have the same steering wheel. Looks like the PTO engage, or the engager for the blade, are both in the same spot. So really, it's looking that they're almost an identical mower. They share a lot of the same parts. I'm not, 100% fluent on lawnmower. I know that some of my subscribers are very much into mowers and stuff like that. So if there is any, obvious differences that I'm missing, or, am I just totally sleep deprived and, whatever. So if anybody knows of any, differences between them or anything like that, leave a comment below. I'm open to suggestions and open to different ideas. So guys, thanks for coming along on this little adventure. As I said before, we went out for the John Deere and ended up with a tiller as well. So as always guys, thank you for watching Maxwell's World. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.